I'm your Welcome 23. You're joining me for Desire Decorum, Book 3, Chapter 14, Anticipation. A few days later, on the day before your wedding, you have returned to Edgewater Estate. You pace beside Edgewater Lake while Mr. Sinclair sits on the bench by the water's edge listening to you. Can you believe the wedding is tomorrow? We've only been planning it for the past few months, yet it still feels like a dream that it's here already. I want to be brimmed with joy, but I haven't heard from Viscount Harry yet. Which means Comte Renard's plan is still moving forward. At this point, I will simply have to see your servants, have a vigilant eye until the reception, arm myself for the wedding, and trust that Viscount Harry will return in time. He must be working tirelessly to find those legitimacy papers in London. I know he will not fail me. Bella, need I remind you that Comte Renard has not even returned from London? All this worry could be for naught. I wish I believed that true, Ernest. How are you not worried about it? I am worried, but I refuse to let that get the best of me when there is simply nothing we can do at present. You continue walking along, back and forth, along the lake's edge as Mr. Sinclair carefully looks on. If he shows his face at the wedding, we'll both be ready, but it does you no good pacing and worrying about what might happen. I do not pace! Mr. Sinclair raises his brow, gesturing for your well-trodden path. You laugh and join him on the bench. Rather, I do not pace starting now. In that case, perhaps a leisurely day is in order. I know Miss Parsons mentioned that a venture into this town with everyone before the wedding. I know Mr. Alley tasked us with some wedding preparations, but what else, I wonder? I would share if I knew, but I do think it would be an enjoyable day together. One final day before we are wed. Ernest, how can I possibly enjoy a leisurely day at a time like this? You're right, a trip to town is precisely what I need. I thought you might be agreeable. Indeed, I am determined not to think of a certain Comte for the rest of the day. Mr. Sinclair stands and offers you his hand. Shall we? There is not a moment to lose. Not long after, you arrive in Moorefield with Mr. Sinclair and your friends. You glance at the list from Miss Dally as you all follow Miss Parsons bounding merrily down the street. Isn't it positively exciting? The wedding is tomorrow, we're in Moorefield all together, and you're about to see my splendid surprise. Yes, even you two will love the surprise. But what is your surprise? We are all quite curious. I will tell you, but first, you must catch me. Miss Parsons takes off sprinting down the street. Prince Ami laughs and follows after her while Sir Luke jogs behind them. Thanks again, what a delight. We must hurry if we are to catch Miss Parsons. Mr. Sinclair shakes his head beside you, but you see a small smirk play upon his lips. I believe this is what you call a Grovershire Act 2. I do hope the surprise lives up to the expectations. Knowing Miss Parsons, I think we have quite the afternoon in store. Prince Ami and Sir Luke chase after Miss Parsons as Mr. Sinclair casually strolls behind. Catch up to Miss Parsons. Run through town with Sir Luke. Race Prince Ami through the town. Or stroll leisurely through town with Mr. Sinclair. Yeah, I'm a stroll. I'm a stroll fan. You fall back and walk side by side with Mr. Sinclair. Are you not going to chase Miss Parsons and the rest? I'll leave you alone. Perish the thought, sir. I suppose I would not mind the company, my lady. Two of you keep a comfortable pace through the streets. Eventually you catch up to the others in front of a tailor shop. Mr. Sinclair, I am not surprised you decided to take your time, but I am shocked at Countess Bella. I could not leave him to walk alone. It would be undignified. Should I take offense that we are looking down upon because we did not run? I suppose not. Appearances must be kept up, after all. You glance over the sign hanging over the tailor shop. Will you finally tell us why we are here? Miss Dally has quite the dress, and has my dress already and everything else quite ready. You forget yourself, my lady. You are the only one with a chance to look fabulous on your wedding day. Miss Parsons leads you all inside the shop. You look around at the fabrics, lining the shelves, noting the colorful mix of satin, silks, and laces. Now, if you all will pardon me, I need to borrow Pugsley for a moment. Go with Miss Parsons, boy. I promise you a tasty treat after. Pugsley waddles after Miss Parsons, and they disappear into the back room. After a few minutes, she finally returns wearing a smile upon her face. Let me guess, you got him a tux. May I introduce the esteemed Pugsley of Edgewater? Pugsley trots out, wagging his tail, and you see the jaws drop around you. God damn it. This is a surprise. What a debonair little sir you are. Where on earth did you find such a minuscule monocule? What is the smallest hat I've ever laid my eyes on? He's simply marvelous. I think he might even be better dressed than me. Pugsley sits in front of you, glaring. Ah. Bambi sniffs Pugsley in his new suit, and then licks his face. Ah. It seems Bambi approves. Ah. Cheer up, Pugsley. The lady dogs will simply fawn over you now. Oh? Perhaps if you are fortunate, people will bring their dogs to my wedding. I suppose it's only fair if Pugsley's attending after all. Miss Parsons, I'm glad you brought us here for Pugsley's new refinery, but not only that, I ordered a special ensemble for all of us, as I'm about to sneeze. Truly, everyone. Oh, there it is. How did you get our measurements? The lady does not reveal such secrets, sir. Just wait there and you will all see. Miss Parsons takes Mr. Sinclair off to the tailor in the back room. You wait out front with the others for a few minutes until Mr. Sinclair returns, dressed in his new clothing. Emerald Green, you can now be a leprechaun. Congratulations. Oh my. You take your time circling Mr. Sinclair, admiring his new finery. You pause and whisper in his ear. My, Ernest. You make quite the handsome groom. There will be no mistaking who I will be marrying tomorrow. Just as no one could possibly mistake the beautiful bride I am marrying tomorrow. Mr. Sinclair's hands wander across his new attire, his face growing wider with each passing second. This fabric is supremely made, and to enjoy the velvet touch. But more than that, I feel worthy of standing beside you tomorrow in this, like I am your groom and the man you deserve. You're a fucking leprechaun, dog. I do agree, Miss Parsons, you have clearly outdone yourself. But wait, there's more. Of course, I ordered it, but I didn't dare finalize it without your approval, since tomorrow is your day after all. It would be a fitting ensemble to match my attire. Not to mention, it would easily be my new favorite attire. Get the wedding suit for Mr. Sinclair. Why not? It is not only my wedding tomorrow, but Mr. Sinclair's as well. It is only right that he looks his best. I'm glad you like it as much as I do. Parsons claps her hands approvingly. Well, I'll have the tailor wrap it up for tomorrow's festivities. What about everyone else, Miss Parsons? Do we not get to see the other special outfits as well? Mr. Mead raises an excellent point. You have teased us so. As if I simply would tease you with one ensemble. One by one, the rest of your friends disappear to the back of the room to see the tailor. Each of them comes out in their special finery for you to admire. Okay, I like his. The purple looks quite tasteful on you, Your Highness. Okay, I really like his. Oh, I adore the anchors on the buttons. Very pretty. Except isn't it posh to wear white when the bride is... Yeah, isn't that like a thing? Wives' tale or something? The hairpins are exquisite. They match your dress perfectly. I must say, Miss Parsons, your taste and eye for detail are beyond reproach. I'm so happy you like them. I toyed with the design ideas for hours until they were just right. It shows. My mother, the seamstress that she was, would have loved each and every one of these ensembles. I think you have simply outdone yourself. I thought I might have scared the tailor off with my request initially, but she worked tirelessly to create these in time for the wedding. Glance at your friends who are all admiring their new attire. What do you all think of them? I do not know how Miss Parsons found such an authentic design, but I could not want for anything more. I wanted to exude elegance and sophistication, and I think I achieved just that. Not to mention, I designed it to match my new hairpins. A proper suit based on a naval uniform is quite impressed. None could question that I belong to the gentry now. You've heard from everyone, my lady, but this is your decision to make. I won't allow anything to happen without your approval. They are lovely. You can buy one for 15, totaling 45. Or buy that special everyone a gift for a low cost of 30, or continue with your day. Fine. Why choose one when we could get them all? Naturally the best option. I cannot wait to wear this for your wedding. I'm so glad I won't miss out on the finery. This is just another example of your generosity, my lady. Actually, it's Miss Parsons. She had it all done. I mean, really, we're just plotting it. You all look splendid tomorrow. I believe that's everything. Wonderful. Give me a moment to inform the tailor to deliver these to Edgewater, and then we can press on. So, guys, that's what? 45 diamonds within 7 to so minutes. Once you, Mr. Sinclair, and your friends have finished up with the tailors, you continue through the town, glance at the handwritten list from Miss Dally. Of course, my grandmother and Miss Dally insist I confirm these arrangements myself. They're only trying to ensure the quality is up to snuff, and everything is precisely as you picture it. Between the 5 of us, we can make quick work of it. What's first on the list? Visit Mr. Danforth hard at work on your cake in a nearby bakery. Ah, do not fret, Countess Bella. Your wedding cake will be the magnificent masterpiece tomorrow. It smells delicious already. You talk to Mrs. Notley as she bundles wildflowers in a nearby stall. You've quite the task ahead of you. I don't think I've seen so many flowers before in my life. Moorefield grows them well. The wedding will be absolutely perfect. She never ages. She's like Keanu Reeves. She's a vampire. After seeing a few more vendors, you make your way through town to the next task on the list. Musicians should be down this street. Just then you see Madam Raisa, Mr. Chambers, and Mr. Knievy exiting a nearby inn. Umi, could my eyes be deceiving me? I think you're correct. We should greet them. You start your way towards the 3 of them, but you realize Prince Hamid stays firmly planted behind you. I don't know about that I can. Not after last time. She's your mother, and she is all the way in Moorefield. I'll be beside you the entire time, but I know you have the strength to do this. You and the rest of the group make your way to the 3 of them. You curtsy politely in greeting. Well, good afternoon. I see you're enjoying this lovely day we have been blessed with. We are completing a few errands for Miss Dally, but we wanted to speak with Madam Raisa. Umi, I had hoped to see you before the wedding, Yahi Bibi. Mr. Chambers and Mr. Knievy were showing me the quaint town Moorefield is. Madam Raisa. I don't know if we should have her attend the wedding or not. I hope you've come to make amends. I must apologize for the way we left things. You know what? Are you attending the wedding? How about that? After our last encounter, I thought you would have stayed in London on your ship. I admit the thought had crossed my mind, but I decided to stay for the wedding at the very least. I've not forgiven you for your behavior last time we spoke, Umi. I understand, but I have had more time to reflect upon everything over the past few days, and I initially came to ask you to leave one last time, but then Mr. Chambers and Mr. Kenevi told me stories about your time here. Only then I realized that this time is different. You did? There is a side of him here that I've never seen, but the people he has met here have brought it out. What are you saying, Umi? I don't know if this is the right choice, but I see it as yours to make. If you're happy in London, I trust you. Thank you, but how do I know you speak the truth? Because of how much this pains me. Letting go is the hardest thing a mother must do, and I know I will miss you dreadfully when I return home. Umi, I won't forget your actions, but I will always remain your son. Madam Raisa touches her son's face, then wipes away a tear spilling from his eye. She composes herself and then turns to you. I also owe you an apology for my behavior when we last met, Countess Bella. It was not appropriate, especially for the Countess of Edgewater. Madame. I accept your apology. I see you are simply a mother bear looking out for her cub. An apt analogy, my lady. Perhaps you will experience it yourself one day. Now, if you will all allow, I wish to spend a little more time with my son. We have already spent too much of my time here apart. Perhaps, you can see more of this man I have become. Countess Bella, maybe Mr. Chambers and I can assist you with finishing the errands Miss Dally charged you with. An excellent idea, sir. Madam Raisa escorts Prince Hamid in the opposite direction of your group. As you take a few strides down the street, Mr. Chambers pulls you aside. Oh, my lady, might we, speak in private? I have some news of import to share. Of course, I'm sure the others will manage without us for the time. Mr. Chambers leads you down an alleyway and to a nearby clearing where you sit on a bench underneath a large tree canopy. Hey, look, it's Hartfell. Come now, Mr. Chambers, why all the secrecy? Well, I have learned that Mr. Sinclair has prepared vows that deviate from the Church of England's script, words from his heart. Is that even possible? Ever since Viscountess Lavinia's wedding, Bishop Monroe is willing to deviate slightly from a traditional ceremony, providing the legalities remain intact. I thought you might want a chance to speak from your heart as well. It would mean you could have some more romantic and customized views. But I don't have a thing prepared, nor do I even know where to begin. And the wedding is tomorrow. I don't want to disappoint Mr. Sinclair. Well, if you don't wish to customize your vows, I will tell Mr. Sinclair to keep his remarks brief. However, if you want a chance to speak with your heart tomorrow, I can help you. In fact, I have some recent experience in the matter, so it would not be difficult. It would be a chance to proclaim my feelings in front of everyone. Just picture Mr. Sinclair's face lighting up when he hears your words tomorrow. Customize your wedding vows with Mr. Chambers to have a unique ceremony for your wedding with Mr. Sinclair. Customize your wedding vows with Mr. Chambers. Why not? I do like the idea of having a ceremony tailored to Mr. Sinclair and me. Excellent. I brought all the necessary things for you. Mr. Chambers pulls out a parchment paper, a quill, and a bottle of ink from his jacket, then hands them to you. But where to start? The quill trembles in your hand as you hover over the blank page. Well, why not begin with a bit of reflection about your history with Mr. Sinclair? There must be something etched in your mind when you think about your journey together. Of course, that's it. When I think of our past, my mind wanders back to the first time we laid eyes on each other, when he proposed after I exposed the former Duke, when he risked his life for me in a duel. First time. I'll always cherish that moment when he rode past me in Grovershire. I did not yet know who he was, but Our eyes held each other's for just a moment. That's all I took to know our lives would be closely intertwined. Well, that is so sweet, my lady. Start there, speak from the heart. Ponder your cherished moment for a minute, then scribble down something onto the parchment. I think that works, but where to go from there? Well, your love has progressed since then. Perhaps focus on your present feelings. I know what Mr. Sinclair means to you now. How could I possibly explain that in words? It would take pages, books, volumes to express my feelings. At least, try. Well, if I was to summarize it all, Mr. Sinclair is all the best parts of me combined. The air I breathe. The air I breathe. Without him, it becomes hard to breathe. He is the sun, the moon, the stars, everything worth living for. Another beautiful sentiment, my lady. You speak with so much love. You write more of the parchment, filling it up with your words from your heart. Perfect. I have the past and present, only the future remains. Ah, but that is the most important of them all. What will you promise to do for Mr. Sinclair until death takes you? I know, and I've always known. I vow to make him laugh and make each day easier for him. Fight any obstacle that attempts to keep us apart. Love him unconditionally until the end of time. There should be a fourth option. Why not all? Until the end of time. Thing is I'm gonna get really sappy here in about 3 seconds. Brace yourselves. The girl that I lost, her time is no longer existing, correct? She's gone. She's passed. But I continue to love her in my heart. So, loving him unconditionally until the end of time, that would mean once one of us ceases to function, time would no longer flow. Which means time would end, and your love would end, and it would be no longer unconditionally. I would fight any obstacle that attempts to keep us apart. The two of us been through so much together, but no one, not man, not illness, not age, nothing can stop us. It would surprise me if even death could not stop your love. There you go, good man, he gets it. You write down your vows as the quill scratches the last few words. You pause and look up at Mr. Chambers. What if you and Mr. Knievel... I have told you my vows to Mr. Sinclair, but what would you vow to your true love? I have given that a bit of thought as of late. I would vow to give Mr. Knievel all of myself. It does not matter the day or hour, for I am Mr. Knievel's now and forever. That's beautiful, sir. Have you told him that? Not in so many words, but I plan to soon enough. You glance back at your writing vows and nod to yourself. These feel good, but I need some kind of closing statement. What, telling him that you would love him and now and forever and fight any obstacles, not a closing statement? Your vows already traveled past, present, and future. What else is there? I know, a reflection on the future. Okay, that's just dumb. The one word I want our wedding to represent is... eternity? I mean, I guess in a way, if you look at it, eternity lasts forever, even past death. So I guess I could go with eternity. Yeah. Eternity. I think that sums it up quite nicely. You work eternity into your vows, and then sign the parchment with a flourish. I think they're done. I would agree. I can't find any fault in them. You're perfect for your wedding. Mr. Chambers, I could have not accomplished this without your help. Wish you and Mr. Knievel would proclaim your love openly like this. It's not fair that you have to hide your love from Mr. Knievel whilst I shout mine to the world. Do not be sad for me, my lady. Though it might not be exactly the idea, same as yours, I have a few ideas up my sleeve. You do. I beg you, do tell. I wish I could, but it must remain secret for now. You will know when the time is right. You fold the paper with your vows and sew them in your rectangle. They'll be safe there until the wedding. Excellent. I shall inform Bishop Monroe of the changes to the ceremony, and tomorrow, just remember, you'll always have eternity. Glance up and spot Mr. Sinclair walking towards you and Mr. Chambers. There you are, Countess Bella. I'd wondered where you and Mr. Chambers ran off to. I've been here the entire time. Mr. Chambers and I were simply having a nice chat. Yes, and I should allow the happy couple some time together. I'm sure you have some more pressing matters to discuss. Mr. Chambers gives you a knowing look and then whistles to himself as he returns towards the center of town. Mr. Sinclair trails his hand down your arm, his lips curling into an alluring smile. Everyone else finished the list, so now that we're alone, perhaps we can make the best of it. We could always take the long way back to Edgewater. There's nothing I would like more. The two of you journey back through the town, eventually making your way along the bank of a nearby lake as the sun begins to set. Ah, the rolling hills of Ireland, oh, they're so beautiful. But Pixelberry stole the picture. Oh, you should see Reddit holding Pixelberry accountable right now with a million things. It's beautiful here, Ernest, the way the sun reflects off the water. Ethan, I'm afraid I did not notice. You glance and see Mr. Sinclair's eyes on you, turning your cheeks red. You smile and continue your stroll around the lake. Bella, I can't wait any longer. For what? I have a gift for you, an early wedding present, if you will. So, you see, No Nut November is finally over. A gift. Give it to me now. Oh, God. But all I need is you. You are the most important part of my life. Anything more is unnecessary. Yet I will offer it to you still, not because it's necessary, but because I want to. As Sinclair places a small object in your hand, you feel metal cold against your palm, then look down to see a mysterious gift in the full light. Your mother's engagement ring. Mama's engagement ring from my father. I thought it was gone after Mr. Richards cast it into the fire. How do you have this? I found it in the ashes of the Bath townhouse where we returned after the reception, before we became rather distracted together. I thought you would surely see me pocket it, but I had cleaned it and polished it for you. It's wonderful, thank you. Slide the ring onto your right ring finger and then hold it out. The last rays of the daylight glisten against the metal. Right where it all belongs. I know it isn't much, but it felt right. Ernest, the most thoughtful gift you could have given. I'm glad I got you something now. This is the most thoughtful gift you could have given. Place your hands on either side of Mr. Sinclair's face. I love it. I love you. I was trying to find the time to give this to you, and it seems like the chance has come at last. Here is my special wedding gift. Take out Mr. Sinclair's gift from your reticule and hand it to him. Really, you carry that book, ink, and quill around with you in your reticule at all times? You have endured such hardship this year, and I know how difficult it was losing your family ledgers from Ledford Park. I wanted to get you this, so that you may begin anew. Perhaps you can write the Ledford and Edgewater estate events here. Mr. Sinclair takes the tome and quill from you. His hand runs over the cover again and again. I don't know what to say. The only words that come to mind are, it's perfect, Bella. This only proves that I chose the right person. You know me so intimately. Then the two of you reach a fork in the road and pause before it. If we go left, we'll return to Edgewater in a matter of minutes. I'm not ready to bid you good night yet. Can we not enjoy being alone together a little bit longer? Only because it'll cost diamonds. Perhaps we could take the road to the right then. Eventually, we'll arrive at Edgewater, but I know some of the secluded hot springs we could visit along the way. That does sound rather heavenly. I also heard the springs have mystical properties. I don't know if I believe that, but I know I want to spend as many moments as I can with you before everything changes. Do you not agree? You act like this is a death sentence, man. It's marriage. Or the hot springs nearby to spend time with Mr. Sinclair before your wedding day in the exclusive scene. Like, seriously, it's just marriage. People act like it's like, ball and chain, you will never have freedom ever again in your entire life. Like, that's not marriage. If that is, and you're dreading it so, as they are writing right now, then you probably shouldn't get married in the first place. If it means more time with you, then I am all ears. Ah, ears. Ah, pun. Ah, my Bella, how I hoped you would say that. Mr. Sinclair leads you down the path. After a short walk, you come across a small cave opening. When you enter the cave, sharp, jagged rocks stop your path, but you can see the water far up ahead. Oh, I see the hot springs down there. Be sure to watch your step along the way. It's a rough terrain. You need not worry. I'm quite skilled wading through treacherous territory, sir. In fact, I shall venture forth with my eyes shut at full speed on your back. Bob on Mr. Sinclair's back and let out a clear laugh ring through the cave. Onward, Ernest. We don't have all day. You know, this would be easier if you walked beside me. Perhaps, but I like a challenge. Then hold on tight. Isn't he the one that's getting the challenge? You tighten your grip around Mr. Sinclair's neck as he begins to run through the craggy rocks. I will never doubt you again. A few more steps, and Mr. Sinclair helps you down in front of the hot springs. You stand beside the water's edge and feel the pool's heat even through your shoes. It's pretty. This is a spectacular hidden gem. The water warms the cavern quite nicely. You extend your hand and skim the top of the water. Its heat sends shivers down your spine. Can't wait to get in. Glance back at Mr. Sinclair and see him removing his shoes. What are you doing? I don't know about you, but I don't wish to get my clothing wet today. Mr. Sinclair removes his jacket, vest, shirt. One by one, he tosses each article of clothing to the side. Your heart races as you watch him disrobe. Oh my. Soon his clothes are simply a pile beside him. When only his undergarments remain, he looks up and catches you staring. Why are you staring so? Do I have dirt on my face? Are you at a loss for words for once? Quite the opposite. I am simply in awe of getting to see this every night beginning tomorrow. You had best get used to it, my Bella. Mr. Sinclair flashes a coy smile at you, then sweeps you up in his arms. Because I am eager to see you every night as well. Mr. Sinclair captures your lips, pulling you in for a passionate kiss. His hold tightens around you and you melt into his arms. Oh. After a few intimate kisses, he pulls back and his arms leave you. But I think you'll see more than just this starting tomorrow night. What are you... Suddenly, Mr. Sinclair shrugs out of his remaining undergarments and tosses them with the rest of the clothing. He wades into the hot springs completely bare. Oh, how you tease me with that body, Ernest. Oh, you could always join me, Bella. In that case, let me disrobe first. You slide closer to the edge of the water, move your shoes, stockings, a painstaking pace. Mr. Sinclair's eyes wander across your bare legs, his breath quickening. I tease you, you tease me with those legs. Ah, a leg man. Well, then I have you right where I want you. You fiddle with the fastenings of your outfit, taking your time as you level a tantalizing gaze at Mr. Sinclair. His breath only continues to quicken until your clothes are in a pile nearby. His eyes remain fixed upon you as you wade into the water and join him. Better. Much. As the water laps against you, your hands wander across Mr. Sinclair's body, caressing every curve and muscle. I wish you could do this to me all night. I just want to be close to you, Bella. And do you think we could run out of mystical properties, then? You cup the water, some of the hot water, and let it drip between your fingers. I don't even know what the mystical properties these springs have anyway. Perhaps the spring is not magical at all. Someone in Moorefield told me about them, but I didn't press for more information. If I had to guess, I think it would be an aphrodisiac, a source of eternal youth, nothing but hot water. An aphrodisiac. I don't know about you, but I want you even more right now. I confess the heat and steam do have my mind wandering. His hands travel your cheek to your chest, all the way down until he grips you or holds your backside firmly in his grasp. Aphrodite herself must have created these hot springs. You touch your forehead against Mr. Sinclair's, your lips now only inches apart. His breath is cool compared to the water surrounding you. Bella, oh, I can hardly stand to be away from you. Surely you must be a siren calling me at sea. Well then, give in to my siren song. And without a moment's hesitation, Mr. Sinclair tightens his hold around you, kissing you fiercely. Ernest, yes. You part your mouth open with his tongue exploring the dark recesses. You tug against his bottom lip, causing him to moan in delight. Oh. His hands grow more frantic as they roam your body and drag you underwater with him. Your bodies intertwine beneath the surface, your kisses growing more and more intense. Mrs. Sinclair's lips wander down your jaw, your neck, your breast. You squirm in delight as his kisses consume you. When you run out of breath, the two of you break the surface, but then Mr. Sinclair returns below. You feel his kisses continue, go lower down your body until they reach your ankles. Oh. Still below the water, he playfully flicks his tongue against your ankle. You feel your breath quicken with each tender swirl of his nibble of the tongue. When you can't take it anymore, you pull Mr. Sinclair above water and crash your lips against his. Bella. Your kisses quicken against each other, sending waves of fire and pleasure through your body until the cool water around you feels cool. Ernest, I need more of you. After a few more intense kisses, Mr. Sinclair pulls back. He runs a finger over your wet hair and sighs heavily. Oh, we shouldn't go any further. Not tonight. Not with the wedding tomorrow. But how I ache. As do I. But I think how the anticipation will make our wedding night even better. If you insist, but just so you won't forget. You leave a long, lingering kiss against his lips. There's no way I will ever, or could ever, forget the feeling of your lips against mine. You look up and notice the light shining into the cave has all but disappeared. I think that means it's time to leave. I don't think we want the near impossible task of finding our way back to Edgewater in the dark. No, probably not. But we can try to bring the so-called magical waters back with us. He smiles and kisses you one last time, then helps you out of the water. You and Mr. Sinclair make quick work returning to your clothing and then continue the journey back home. By the time you arrive at Edgewater, night has completely fallen. You turn to Mr. Sinclair and sigh. Looks as though this is where we part. I wouldn't trade my time alone with you for the world. This is the last time we must say farewell at Edgewater doors for this evening. But I must depart for my guest quarters tonight. Ah, yes, it would be bad luck to see the bride before she walks down the aisle. That's such a dumbass wives' tale. Shut up. And yet with you, I could face it all. I cannot wait to celebrate our day tomorrow. Mr. Sinclair kisses you tenderly, then goes a separate way. As you approach the manor, you notice Mr. Woods tending to a horse in the front. It's Viscount Harry's horse. He must have returned. You rush inside and discover Viscount Harry in the foyer, clutching a piece of paper. Viscount Harry, you're back! Where have you been? Never mind, it matters not. Brother. Please tell me you come bearing good news about stopping Comte Renard. I think I found something promising. I could scarcely believe my eyes. Well, don't keep me waiting. What did you find? I managed to discover this while I stayed in London. Viscount Harry hands you a letter he clutches, and you read it over. To my dear friend. The farces of this operation have continued long enough. The boar is imprisoned. His supposed heir is a bastard, and the EUW heir you brought with you cannot be controlled. Why should I continue to waste my time supporting Foxlove when it shows no little promise? I have met with our mutual allies, and we have decided to pull our support. You no longer have the backing of our society. Perhaps if you were to succeed in taming the Countess, we would reconsider. But, as this does not seem to be the case, you are alone. We will no longer come when you call, and any far-fetched dreams you may have had of controlling the crown are now out of reach. I wish you luck and bear no ill will. I simply do not wish to meet the fate of Jacobites. Warm regards, C.G. You mean to tell me that Comte Renard has lost all of his allies? Yes. I found several more like this. He has no power whatsoever. He's been lying through his teeth for weeks. I think this plot for your wedding was his last resort to secure support and power, but now that it's failed, he's out of options. It means he can't threaten anyone. He can't... The front door swings wide open, and Comte Renard saunters in. He fixes his eyes first upon you, and then Viscount Harry, then scowls when he sees the letter you hold. Countess Bella, Viscount Harry, I am pleased to... Comte Renard shakes his head, then smiles sinisterly at you. The French accent is completely absent when he speaks again. Ah, my performance is wasted on the two of you. I see you have something that belongs to me. I think not. This is proof of your treachery against the crown. Do you hear that, Sir Gideon? Your power is à rivière. Ah, I see. Then allow me to retire to my room for the night. I'm happy to discuss this in the morning. Oh, I don't think that will be possible, as you are no longer a guest at Edgewater. You should leave now. Though I would take great pleasure if you forced me to make you leave. As would I. There are a few techniques Comte Renard taught me that I would love to utilize. I think that, don't think that'll be necessary, though, will it? Comte Renard looks between you and Viscount Harry for a tense moment, then sighs as he straightens his posture. I see I am defeated. I will go, only to collect my remaining belongings. Comte Renard steps up the stairs, but Viscount Harry blocks his path. She said it is time to go. What is all the commotion? I was in the parlor when... Mr. Wood's eyes go wide when he sees Comte Renard and Viscount Harry glaring at each other on the staircase. Mr. Woods, hurry and find the largest servants at Edgewater. See that Comte Renard is sent on a boat to France. It is time he resumes his exile. Mr. Woods nods and rushes out of the room. Comte Renard raises his voice and attempts to pass by Viscount Harry once more. No, you cannot make me. I refuse to return to such a pitiful... His words falter when Mr. Woods returns. Two large servants that accompany him walk over and tower over Comte Renard. Oh, that was before I met him, though. I see my efforts are wasted here. I'll leave, but only because you forced my hand. As Mr. Woods and the pearly servants escort Comte Renard to the manor, you call out, Oh, and Sir Gideon, I win. And do not ever forget that again, unless you wish to share a cell with Mr. Richards. Comte Renard turns on his heels and disappears into the night. I'm relieved to see him go, but what did he need from his room? Shall we find out together? Viscount Harry and you rush up to Comte Renard's former room and tear it apart. You turn over the drawers, armoires, pillowcases. There must be something here. Hey, did you ever think that maybe he just wanted to get a gun and he'd go ahead and kill both of you? Just a thought. You frantically search until Viscount Harry tears a paper from the underside of a drawer and calls out, I found something. Your eyes skim over the contents, growing wide with each word. This is the document legitimizing Percival as the heir to Duchy Carlington. As in Mr. Richard's hand. I would stake my life on it. Look who the witness is, Sir Gideon Payne. I'll take this to Moorefield Notary listed here tomorrow morning, but it looks very promising. We can do so much good if we work together, not apart. I wonder what we could have accomplished if I hadn't been such an arse earlier. Brother, what matters is that we are aligned now. Do you realize we have finally proved our story to Queen Charlotte and the Prince Regent? I must write to Percival's governess, which they must come to Edgewater at once. What makes you so certain that the Comte Renard won't return? Sir Gideon, I know, is cold and calculating. He would not dare try anything rash without another plan. And if he returns to England ever again, he will face the king's justice. Release a heavy sigh and fall back onto the bed, smiling to yourself. You underestimate a man who has no will to live and has nothing to lose because he's lost everything. Yet at long last I can breathe again. My wedding tomorrow will be all I've ever wanted and more. You defeated Comte Renard just in time for your wedding day. Are you ready to walk down the aisle and say I will? Or so you hope. Without further ado, thank you all for watching. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. Head down in the description below. Links to social media, Discord, and a few links to support yours truly. Be very much appreciated. And, yeah. So we completed the letter last night on Twitch. And we also completed the Outer Worlds as well. So a little bit more of my free time is going to be freed up for the next 4 to 5 days. So I'm going to be plowing through a lot of visual novel content. I'll be having the occasional stream here or there, but for the most part we're going to be doing a lot of VODs for the next few days, because here on the 14th, the night of, or the 15th, the morning of, we are going to be doing Pokemon Sword and Shield, as well as the new Star Wars game. So, without further ado, thank you once again for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next video. Peace.